As I was home the past couple of days, we're moving my mother into assisted living. She's told us that it's time to leave the high rise. She wants to go into an assisted living facility. And so she's been giving away stuff. And we have taken furniture and different things for Mom's new room, apartment, if you want to call it that. And we thought, this is great because we're going home with less things than we came with. But then she presented me with 4 large boxes of her stuff, photo albums and sheets and pillowcases and blankets and all this stuff. And I don't have much interest in old photo albums, quite honestly. I can't picture myself sitting down and looking through these. I could imagine if I did that, I would be getting dirty looks from you-know-who. But I can't really use a lot of sheets and pillowcases. We've got all that we need. I mean, there's just 2 of us. So, but the other thing that she gave me was her sewing kit. Now, I feel entirely different about that. It's a well-worn sewing kit, and when you open it, it has all the things you would expect: little scissors and little spools of thread and needles and a cake of beeswax. If you know what that's for, then you're my age probably. But I opened it and looked inside, and well, I felt something strange happening behind my eyes, and I closed it up real quick. To me, that sewing kit represents, among other things, the sacrifices that my mother made for us. Now, I don't know if your mother had a sewing kit. There's always something for you that will symbolize the sacrifices that your mother made for you. And it wasn't something that she resented doing. It was something that she did joyfully. She sewed on those buttons that popped off. She mended those little tears that happen when you fall and skin your knee and rip your pants. She did all those things. And she darned socks. Now, I don't know if you know what darning socks is, but you would slip an egg-shaped thing in the sock, and then you would sew up and fix a sock and get more use out of it. We weren't a wealthy family. You didn't simply just throw out things that needed a little bit of work. You took the time that it took to make it serviceable again. And that's what she did. As children, we were unaware of all the sacrifices that our parents made for us, particularly our mothers. If they had something, a snack in their purse or food, they would make sure that we got it. And if there wasn't enough for them, that was okay. They wanted to make sure that we didn't go without. And it becomes a habit. My mother, I don't remember her ever buying a new outfit for herself when we were kids. She had stuff that her sisters had given her because they were pretty much the same size. And she just didn't do that. That was indulging in a luxury, and it was a habit with her that has persisted because now to this day she hates to spend money on herself. And she will sign up for a bus trip that's $30, and she will fret over spending that $30, that's extravagant. And she will ask me if I think it's okay. And I'll say, well, yes, of course it's okay. Whatever money you have is yours. You should enjoy it. And yet she still questions this. When we look into the Word of God, we see how God sacrifices for us. We see the things that show us that He puts us first. Number one in everything. All the good things, the book of James tells us, every good and perfect gift comes down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variation or shifting shadow. Your mom didn't like you on Monday and hate you on Tuesday. You were always the same to her. And no matter what happened, she was in your corner and would give anything for you to make sure you would be happy. And we're doing things for my mother now and making sure that her room is nice, and feathering her nest in a little bit, just a little bit of giving back to her all the things that she's given to us. And it's very hard for her to accept that. Very hard for her to take that gracefully, and she fusses about it. Oh, you're doing so much. I could never repay you, she says. Can you imagine that? Your mother thinking she has to repay you. How ridiculous is that? This is our chance to show her a little bit of love in the way that she showed it to us all those years. Of course, you can't talk about sacrifice, I don't think, as a Christian, without talking about this table right here and what we're about to do. Our mothers are, and our fathers, they have the spark of the divine in them. With the breath of God, He breathed into us this same spirit of self-sacrifice. How much we need to kindle that today. Self-sacrifice for others, not just our families, our children, but for others. To follow the example that we've been given, that we are not the most important person in this life. To look outside of ourselves. And my mother is that kind of person. I know that in this, it's not a nursing home, it's assisted living. I know that she's going to make friends. She's going to find somebody that she can make a difference for. And in the way that Jesus has shown us and given us an example. James chapter 1, verse 17 says that God not only gives us these good gifts, He actually brought us forth. He is our parent. He is our dad. We were born of the will of God, not the will of man. So Mom's sewing basket will always have a place of honor in my home. I don't know exactly where I'm going to put it yet, but for me it symbolizes her sacrifice for me and her love for me. This table has a place of honor in this church, and it has a place of honor in our hearts, because we see an example of self-sacrifice, of giving love without limit. Without limit.